Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Excel Freak, and today we'll be talking about recording a macro. However, this recording of a macro is different from what we had done in the past. What we had actually done in the past was we picked up a particular cell and we did the basic formatting, and while formatting we were actually recording all these steps while our recording macro option. And when we moved on to the next cell, we actually used the run macro as an option to repeat those steps automatically using the macro rather than manually doing them all together. But today what we'll be doing is we will be taking a cell, and with reference to that cells we will be doing certain activities, which means probably I am right now here in my cell C4 wherein student name A is written. I say from this cell I want this entire region to be highlighted and I want to find the sum of these two values. Similarly, I'll move here and I'll say I want to find the sum of these two values. Now, why is this relative? Because I'm not fixing it to a particular cell, but from a cell that is selected or that is my active cell, I am going and selecting a range which has a dimension, which means it is telling me move one step towards the right hand side, move one row to the down. That's how my dimension is selected over here. So there's a slight change in the way we'll record our macro over here. We'll start with the same process. We'll go to view macro, view tab, and then we'll go to macro, and in the macro we'll go ahead and first click on use relative references. So how it really works is before we start recording our macro, we click on use relative references. We start the recording. Once the recording is done, before clicking on stop, we click on use relative references again and then click on stopping of a recording, right? So I click on this. I then go ahead and click on my record macro. This is my macro number 7. Okay. Now this is my active cell. I go ahead and select my range till here. I go to my home tab. I am giving it a different color. Similarly, I come over here and give it a different color. And now I want the sum of these two values over here. And I can just copy this formula, take it over here, and it will give me the sum of the n2 values. Now, my recording of the macro is done. I go back to my view tab. I go to macros. And I first click on use relative reference and then I click on stop recording. So my recording has really stopped over here. I go to this particular cell where I want to really apply this recording now. And let's see if it's gonna really work. I go to view macros. Mine was macro number 7 in this case. And I click on run. So we see the exactly same thing has been replicated into a new data range. And now for that matter, if I go ahead and say over here, I give in student name and okay, sorry, spelling error, and let me go over here and say some marks, and I can say A, B, C. And I can go ahead and increase this range till here. And I want to give in some random numbers over here. So I can use the rand between function, which is equal to rand between, and I can say 12 and 98. And control enter. Okay, control C. And let me go ahead and paste the values. So I have this entirely new range which is really not similar to the one that I had before. And now if I am again in my view tab and macros, and let me go ahead and select this cell and view macro and go ahead and click on macro number 7 and run. This has also actually worked. So this is how you really go ahead and use the relative reference as an option while recording a macro. That will ensure that your recording of steps is taken into consideration with regards to the reference of the cell and not, it's like it's not really static. to that particular cell only, but it will take a reference with regards to that cell. It will look at, okay, from this cell, how many steps do I need to move towards right or down or bottom or left, and then all these steps will be recording accordingly. Try this out, very effective. You can take your first step towards VBA coding with the help of recording of a basic macro. So do try this out. Feel free to reach me in case you have any queries, anything that you would like to share. You can use the comment box below, or you can mark me a mail at msexcel.freak@gmail.com. Thank you guys. Have a great evening.